today whole day I've been just constantly playing chess. Yesterday I started watching the Queen's Gambit, a TV series on Netflix, and I just got into it. I just downloaded chess.com's app. I've been constantly playing ever since. I can play really well when I'm playing, a rapid game or just a classical game of chess, but for some reason, out of I was just being stupid over there, I guess. I just started playing Blitz. I'm not so good at Blitz. I started losing. And I went into like 5 game, 8 game, 10 game losing streak. And I'm like, what the hell? And I just started constantly playing. I think I've gotten better now. I've started increasing my ranking as well. But anyway, today is Kannada Rajyotsava. So, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರಿಗೂ ಕನ್ನಡ ರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. Today all day I've just been playing and pretty much didn't get any time to vlog. But anyway, I do have something fact to share because it's been a while that I did fact share. So I thought might as well do it today. So there are quite couple of interesting facts that I wanted to share. So I'm gonna do that once I'm done with the shower. So let the fact share begin. The first one is about an Egyptian pharaoh whose name is Ramesses II. I think, he's pretty famous guy. I think a lot of people might have already heard about him. If not, let me tell you. He's one of the most badass pharaoh of Egypt. Not only that, he also reigned Egypt for a very long time. He basically held his position for almost 66 years and he died at a ripe old age of 91. So that's how great he was. But that's not the best of the story. After that, he, of course, like any other Egyptian, he was mummified. He's a great pharaoh as well. He was mummified, but much later on, his mummified body was found completely untouched. It was so real. And once it was found, the French explorer who was basically examining the whole mummified body, he realized that there was a lot of fungus growth happening around the whole body, and he thought that soon we might lose the whole body, so we will have to take the entire body to France to get it all examined and to get it all cleaned up, because in Egyptia there were no those particular facilities available, so they had to do this. But French people have very specific local rules. You cannot just travel there without having any kind of passport. Because of this reason, what Egypt did was they gave a passport to Ramesses as a pharaoh, and this is how the passport looks like. And then he was basically sent out in the aeroplane so that he can go to France and then be examined. And another sort of a funny, tragic, as well as an interesting fact is about Joseph Guillotine. You might have heard of the word guillotine. It's basically an execution exercise that used to be done back in the days. It is also believed to be one of the fastest way of ending a person's life. And this was basically used only for the royals of the society and not for slaves, because slaves were tortured most of the time. So guillotine was so much against killing people that he came up with this idea so that at least they can end their lives in a much quicker way without any kind of torture. That is the reason he came up with the guillotine. And quite ironically, he most definitely did not want this execution, the whole the structure itself, to be named after him. But before he could do anything about it, the entire world had started talking about guillotine, and his name was known for the murder exercise. So that's kind of an ironic and tragic thing that happened. And last but not the least, I'm just going to show some of the very old photos where these jobs existed back then, but now it's completely obsolete. There is no need of this kind of job to exist at all. So the first one is pre-radar listener. So during the war times, these pre-radar listeners were used to detect the enemy approaches. They had built in a way that could capture sound from pretty far distances and were used for reporting and surveillance, of course. The second one is the bowling alley pin setter. The third one is lamp lighter. And another one is switchboard operators. Basically, whenever there was any kind of a long distance call, they literally had to switch it. And it's already 9 p.m. I still haven't had my food. I still gotta be editing this, so I'm gonna wind up for today. Tomorrow is gonna be the classical, traditional, typical vlog. See ya.